Nowadays, TV is coming at you like a tsunami. So knowing exactly what show should be at the top of your list each week can feel like wildly diving for pearls. Now there's a plethora of shows premiering this week, with some fantasy from Netflix, some hardcore sci-fi from Sci-Fi, a returning comedy from Amazon, and a spy thriller from Epix. But to answer what show to watch, I'm going to throw two expressions out there to set the table today. One, variety is the spice of life, and two, if you don't know your jewels, know your jeweler, which today is me.
보니따 호스텔을 나한테 팔죠. 좋은 값에 살 테니까.
저희 호스텔을 사시겠다고요?
앞으로 그라나다는 마법의 도시로 유명해질 겁니다.
마법이요?
나 원래 필코치는 바로 고하는 성격이라서요.
A Korean fantasy romance offering what can best be described, for better and worse, as partially Crazy Rich Asians meets Ready Player One, Alhambra has a certain charm that defines borders. It's also a very clear expression of Netflix's international footprint. With this primarily I'd say, Spain-set 16-episode season, there's lots of love in the air and magic in the wind, and something very different than the usual stateside TV.
Try and catch me. Come on.
Our world is dying, but maybe we can save our families, save our home. The night flyer is our only chance, and that's what scares me.
A George R.R. Martin snack of sorts, to help tide you over at least until Game of Thrones' final season debuts next spring, Night Flyers, based on a novella of the authors, lacks the grandeur of the Emmy-winning HBO series, but it still has many of the ensemble textures, especially when it comes to the sheer blood flow and horror factor that we've come to expect from Martin's work, with some adaptive licensed by the producers, on top. Now, having previewed at New York Comic Con last month with its tale of a terror-filled trip through space to an alien rendezvous, Night Flyers, well, it's watchable, but it certainly could have benefited from less of an homage to The Shining.
The Russians are making a move.
Take out the peacemakers. Strike a match. Iron Curtain falls again.
Here's the thing. This is one of my favorite shows out there, and has been for the past couple years. And with its uncanny timeliness year after year, as the latest Putin vice grip on the Ukraine right now proves, I can't encourage you enough right now to get on board with this diamond-in-the-rough CIA thriller if you haven't already. The Richard Armitage-led gang are all back with new additions in Ismail Cruz Cordova and James Cromwell, as the action moves outside the German capital this year, but the intrigue level translates quite effectively as horizons broaden, which is quite wunderbar from what I've seen. But if you only have time for one new show, or rather one returning one, then the choice is the season 2 debut of the Marvelous Mrs Maisel.
1 year ago, my old life ended and my new life began.
The greatest star.
I want to be successful.
I am by far.
But I haven't told my friends or my parents.
But no one knows it.
Except my ex.
If season 1 of this Rachel Brosnahan and Alex Bornstein 1950s set series from Amy Sherman Palladino delighted you, as it did me, then wait. As season 2 takes you to Paris, plays some Barbra Streisand, a fictional Lenny Bruce returns, and there's a boatload of body talk to make a sailor blush. Plus, you'll laugh your ass off. Midge's evolving transformation from Upper West Side housewife to queen of comedy proves a feast in what has become one of simply the best shows on the small screen in any genre. So the winner this week has to be the sheer sneaky exuberance and wit of Ms. Maisel. But, I'm not saying there's a tie, but if you have the time, I would also tune into the very close second, season 3 of Berlin Station. Because all things considered, look at the two shows together as your early European Christmas vacation. A trip very well worth taking this week.